There has not been a time in Israel Adesanya's career that Israel Adesanya has been put in the position that Israel Adesanya is in right now, which is he didn't have a job. Israel Adesanya has never left the octagon without lining up his next day of work. He did that in his last one. It was with Duplessis, but then Duplessis got booked against Whitaker. Izzy has never been in this position. So Izzy, he's moving forward. This is who I'm fighting. Apparently, he's got to fight this guy first, and then I'll fight. Right? I mean, this is Izzy's standpoint, but I'm just sharing with you that is a very possible thing. I don't want to be a jerk about that, and I think that Duplessis is really something special. Duplessis is not going to be Whitaker. So, what are we doing? And how many times does Chael tell you that with a straight face and I look like I'm right and I got my fancy sign lit up over here? I get it wrong. Let's say he does win. It doesn't change the point, which is this. We now apparently have a fight between Chimaev and Jared Cannonier. And when I say we have a fight, we have nothing more than October approaching where Chimaev was put in a co-main spot, and that's the world's worst kept secret. And now we have a guy that called him out for the first time in his career. And I would just assume we're going to make the fight. And as much as it is known that Izzy Adesanya would like to fight Duplessis, and Izzy Adesanya has controlled his career more than anyone in the company's history. As much as that is known, it is believed that Chimaev's next fight will be his only fight prior to fighting for the belt. It is believed, and has been believed for a period of time, that Chimaev will be going up to 185 pounds. Never mattered if that was Kamaru Usman, never mattered if that was Paulo Costa. It was going to be at 185 pounds, and it was going to be the only fight that he needed to do at 185 before he got to fight for a world championship. So what do you want to do? Man, I don't have the answer to it. I don't know where that goes. But it's not as though I'm hedging my bet and you got Dana and Hunter in a room somewhere on the second floor of the UFC with the answer. Ha Chael, you got it right again. Or ha Chael, you're close, but no cigar. It's not like that. They don't know either. Everybody is going to be given the same thing, which is an opportunity. You're going to have an opportunity for performance, and then you're going to be put on the microphone. And I don't know which one is more important. I can tell you I personally, with one win and 2 shots on a microphone, could do more than a guy that went 3 years undefeated. But I'm sharing for it. We don't know where that's going to go. We didn't know where Jared Cannonier was going to go, whether there's anything interesting for him to do. All of a sudden, he grabs a microphone and calls out Chimaev, says he'll go to Fight Island in October to do it. Oh, wow. He just became really interesting, right? And I'm just sharing for you that there's different approaches, and I don't know that anybody's doing it wrong. I won't know till it's done. I'm just sitting back and observing it, but it's a very different approach than another one that's playing out in front of you, which is Volkanovski. Volkanovski is Islam or bust. He is absolutely set. And he's got a fight on International Fight Weekend, which is believed to be and intended to be, it doesn't always work out this way, but it is intended to be the biggest fight card of the year. And Volkanovski is headlining it, and it's in 2 weeks. And it's against Yair Rodriguez. And I have never seen a split screen with the two of them. I've never seen an interview by Yair Rodriguez at all. I have seen an interview done by Volkanovski where he references Yair Rodriguez and he gets right off of him and he goes back to Islam. And it's very different, right? Nobody's going after Islam. Nobody's challenging Islam. Charles Oliveira is supposed to be fighting Islam, and he's putting out posters with himself and Conor McGregor. When I tell you nobody is discussing Islam, like this isn't a figure of speech. Charles Oliveira, who is scheduled to fight Islam, is talking about fighting Conor McGregor. No one's talking about Islam but Volkanovski. And it's a very different scenario. I don't know which one is right. I don't know. And I'm not looking at it from the perspective of competitiveness, because some people say, he's got to focus and he's overlooking Yair Rodriguez. For some athletes, overlooking is the greatest thing you can do. You will never get psyched up for anything. You will get psyched out. And there is an analysis by paralysis by analysis, where you sit and focus about something, you just freeze up. This is a real thing. This is the one they don't teach in the book. This is one you got to learn the hard way. Some people need to do just that. They need to get focused. And other people need to think anything other than anything. So, I'm not speaking to you from a competitive standpoint. I'm speaking from a marketing standpoint. There's very different approaches going on right now. Izzy's trying to get somewhere. I don't know how he's going to get there. I don't think they're going to pull Du Plessis off of a loss and put him into that fight. Du Plessis is not going to beat Robert Whittaker. Sorry if I'm being a dick about it, but he's not going to beat him. And whatever happens there, we do believe that Chimaev is going to get the push. Chimaev is a massive star in the sport. There has never been a mismanagement. I don't mean by his team and his managers. There's never been a mismanagement by our marketing department. There has never been a mistake like the ones made on Chimaev. And with that said, as big as he is, you want a fun fact on Chimaev, guys? Not only is he not a number one contender, not only is it not said that he's going to be a number one contenders match, his next match is so unimportant, apparently, that our opponent, which was going to be Paulo Costa, we pulled and stuck somewhere else. Our next opponent who offered to do it, we couldn't agree on the weight class, and we scrapped it. We now over here, Bad Guy Inc., think it's Jared Cannonier because Jared said his name a week ago and nothing else. This is how poorly this has been managed. The number one headline in the entire sport 3 years ago, you can't find in the headlines anymore. This is a mistake. This is a mistake that somebody really should wake up and, guys, they dropped the ball on this one and get back involved. But as great as Chimaev is, as wonderful as he's done, he's never fought for a title. He's not in an official number one contenders match. And above everything else, he's never main evented. Are you aware of that? So there's things that need to be done. And there's boxes that need to be checked. And becoming a number one contender off of a co-main event, you can do. But when you're competing against a former world champion and the guy that the current champion wants to fight, and they're in a main event, it's a different situation unless you have the gift of gab. Just making an observation for you. It's two different plays. I'm really interested in Volkanovski, and I've shared this with you guys. Frankie Edgar leaves the sport. That screws me. I'm Frankie's biggest fan, but he's my favorite fighter. So I don't have anyone. I'm screwed. It's a big deal when Frankie decides he's going to go, right? So now I need a favorite fighter. I'm down to two. My favorite fighter is either Volkanovski or it's Michael Chandler. I haven't made my decision yet. But it's a very accurate observation by me. I don't think you can get this anywhere else. I don't think you have access to this anywhere else. You're welcome.